Creative Arts Camp is an experience for children to engage God's story, and this week we're engaging the story of Moses. How we approach each and every narrative is through art.
This is the great way to know the first of the two great redemption events of our faith.
And show how God's love and how God's grace are present then and incredibly present now.
They have a chance to really flourish in their with their creative minds and use art to the sort of as an outlet of what they're learning.
Telling a story within a creative environment, it allows the children to just explore things that maybe they wouldn't be able to explore.
We try and engage the mind and the heart through the imagination. The way in which we pull children into our stories is through our set design.
When the children enter Anderson Hall, it's a complete transformation from the outside world.
We want them to feel like they're part of the story.
They've come into a whole new environment where their imaginations and their minds are completely captured.
The Great Escape begins in a desert place, the land of Egypt.
One of the many ways in which we try to engage our campers is through shadow puppets.
I think it's really cool and really fun to play with other mediums.
Tell your God his people belong to me.
Let my people go.
The shadow puppet video is always very powerful because we're drawn into a story.
They get to see it actually instead of just hearing it.
And as armies, we're gaining on the Hebrews with each passing moment.
It allows kids to create the details of these stories in their own minds.
We wrote an original song that reinforces the lessons in the story that we're learning.
This year's song really captures this idea of what happens when we operate out of fear versus faith.
In fear, Pharaoh made them slaves. In faith, Moses hoped to break their chains.
Moses operates out of faith. Not faith that he can do it, but faith that God can work the signs through him to set his people free.
We then try to talk through the story again and draw out some of the main themes.
They want to walk away with grace, that God loves them personally, individually, but also collectively as a group.
Being a teacher allows me to go into the minds of the kids and see how they interpret the Bible.
I think I got to know the story a different way by teaching.
A lot of these kids really understand the deeper meaning of the Bible, and once you facilitate that discussion, they start answering for themselves, and it just shows how bright they are and how creative they are too.
You saw a bush that was burning, but not burning, and then you hear a voice, and that voice says it's God. It's pretty intimidating. I know I'd be intimidated, I'm pretty tough. I'd like to hear kind of the funny comments that come out, but also like the depth that each person, each child has in the classroom.
Moses wasn't this type of guy who was like expected to be strong, but God chose him anyway. And God told him to go save his people.
This story is not just set far, far in the past, in another time and place, but has some relevance for their own lives here and now.
I feel like the kids learn a lot through crafting. This week the kids will make their very own shadow puppet boxes.
They can bring the experience of camp home with them.
My favorite thing about Creative Arts Camp is making the dioramas because it shows what's going on. We can act out the scene.
Honestly, a lot of these crafts I'm like not really good at, but the kids sort of teach me as well.
We want them to really understand that this story occurs in a particular place. And then we want them to go the additional step of connecting it to their own lives and being able to put themselves into this story.
It's pretty cool to watch all of them explore faith through their imagination.
What we hope our kids walk away knowing is that God has entered into our story.
God works through unlikely people, like them and us and Moses.
And so this impossible task of getting out of Egypt, getting out of Pharaoh's reign. Only God can make that possible. And so that theme, I think, speaks most powerfully to us who feel like Moses, like we're an absolute nobody.
So when you're left feeling unknown, you can look and know that God works through ordinary means, that He's very personal, that He knows each and every one of these children by name, and that He is for them and He wants them to be free.